Letterland. There could be no better land for meeting a duck, a man with a hat, an orange or two, and a clever old cat. So let's go to Letterland. Letterland, Letterland. Walter Walrus Wetterland meets slithering Sam, a king who can kick, a quarrelsome queen, or make noisy Nick. So let's go to Letterland. Let's go to Letterland today.
Hello, my wonderful children, and hello to all the parents who are watching. I hope that you had so much fun so far. Today is the last Letterland video that I will be making, because you have done up to the munching mic sound, and I don't want to do more than that, because from next week you're going to start learning the new letters with your teachers, and then this is just a revision so that you are all caught up and that you remember everything that you've learned so far. So today, instead of doing 2 letters, we're going to do 3 letters, because tomorrow I want to concentrate on numbers. Okay, so today we are going to do the letter K, the letter L, and the letter M. Okay, I'm going to read you all 3 stories. You are going to form all of them individually and do each of their exercises individually, please. So that will keep you busy for a little bit, because it's 3 different letters. Okay, so the first one we are going to do is kicking king. Now, which sound does kicking king make? Kicking king says k. And doesn't that also sound like someone else that we know? Clever cat. Kicking king and clever cat sound very similar. They try to trick us, I think. I think they're just trying to trick us. So kicking king says k, k, k. Okay. But even though they sound the same, do they look the same? Does kicking king look the same as clever cat? Definitely not. Definitely not. And with clever cat, you don't lift your finger. It's just one circle movement. With kicking king, you have to lift your finger 3 times. Isn't that crazy? I know. So we are going to read his story first, and then we are going to learn his formation. Okay, let's listen carefully. Letterland's king is a keen football player. He loves kicking the ball really hard. That's why everybody calls him Kicking King. Kicking King is keen on his pets too. He has a kangaroo, a koala, and some very playful kittens. The kittens like to play with Kicking King's keys. When the king is not looking, they play with his kite as well and get it all tangled up. All the Letterlanders love to play football with Kicking King. It looks like Noisy Nick is coming to play too. Golden Girl is very good in goals. Do you think she's going to catch the ball, or is the kangaroo going to kick it away? Are you good at playing football? Another word for football is soccer. Teacher Marisa loves watching soccer. Yes, I do. I love watching you guys play soccer, especially at school when you're doing Soccer Stars. Oh, it's so amazing, and I miss watching you play Soccer Stars. One day you'll play Soccer Stars again, I promise. So now if we're looking at Kicking King, for my grade R's who have to worry about head, tummy, tails, here's your Kicking King. When we write Kicking King with our head, tummy, tails, we always start with the main line, which is usually around the eyes of the cat. Start there, all the way down into the tummy, all the way to the bottom line of the tummy line. Then you lift your finger. I've made a little belly button for my cat so that you can remember where to start in the middle. Okay? You start round about where the belly button is of the cat. Start there, go up. Lift your finger. Go back to the same spot and go down. Okay? Let's do that. So I want a lot of Kicking Kings everywhere. And all right. Well done, my big children. I'm so very proud of you. So this is Kicking King, and his sound is k. Same as Clever Cat. Clever Cat says k. Kicking King says k. So when you see them in words, you know what sound they make. Well done. I'm very, very proud of you. Now, next we are going to do L. So I'm going to show you who says L, who remembers her name, Lucy Lamplight. Yes, Lucy Lamplight. When we write Lucy Lamplight, Letterland used to write Lucy Lamplight with a little curve. And in some countries, they do that. Okay, but we don't write L with a curve. Only some schools like it with a curve, other schools don't. Okay, so we're not going to write Lucy Lamplight with a curve. We're going to write her just in a straight line, almost like a number 1. Okay, she's just a number 1. The big L is right. That is right. So you start at the top, down, across. If your name starts with a L, if it doesn't, don't worry. The little L, we only do one straight line, no curve at the bottom. Okay, well done. Now, let's read her story. Let's find all the wonderful things there that start with a L. Okay, there's awesome things in that picture that start with a L. Let's see if you can find all the things that start with a L. And then try remember them so that when you need to write the L words, you can use some of those. Okay, let's read her story. Everybody loves Lucy Lamplight. This is because she has a lovely smile that lights everything around her in Letterland. All the animals gather round Lucy, even the lions and leopards, because they love her. Lucy Lamplight lives in the Letterland lighthouse. At night, her light shines out from the lighthouse so that ships can find their way home. If anyone is lost or lonely, Lucy Lamplight always helps them. Sometimes Lucy Lamplight helps out at the Letterland school. When it is time to go home in the winter, her light shines brightly so the children can cross the road safely, even if it is dark or foggy. Ah, that's so nice of Lucy Lamplight. She helps people by shining her light. We're going to look at how to write Lucy Lamplight with our head, tummy, tails. Lucy Lamplight uses the whole of the headline, so from the top of the cat's head all the way down and into the whole of the tummy line. So she uses 2 full lines from the head into the tummy. And can you see it's one straight line? Teacher Marisa has not made a flick. It's just one straight line. Okay, well done. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy again. and we try and make her as straight as we can. We don't want squiggly Lucy Lamplight. She's not a squiggle, she's a straight line. Okay, it starts with a L. So now, after L, what sound comes after L? It's mm. Okay, so after Lucy Lamplight, we have Munching Mike. Munching Mike says So now remember, it's your mouth. If you look at my lips are closed. There's no it's a full, your lips are touching. Okay, well done. Like when you say mommy, it's the sound. So let's read the Munching Mike story and see how many things in there you can find that start with the sound. Okay, Joy. Look! It's the marvelous metal monster, Munching Mike. At the moment, he is munching on his main meal. It's a mixture of melon and mangoes and marshmallows. But he has mixed it in with bits of crunchy metal and magnets. Munching Mike lives in the mountains with his mum. The mountains are far away, but that doesn't matter because Munching Mike and his mum can move very quickly on their 3 metal wheels. Many people think that monsters are scary, but Mike is the mildest monster you'll ever meet. Do you ever make his sound when you're munching on your favorite meal? Oh, I sometimes make the sound when I'm having chocolate. It's so delicious. Or when I'm having my morning coffee. It's amazing. So now we're going to look at the formation. Now you know how to say We're going to look at the formation with head, tummy, tails. This is your head, tummy, tails. What line does Munching Mike use? Only the tummy. Can you see he doesn't use the head? He doesn't use the tail. Munching Mike only uses the tummy line. But can you see, especially my grade R's, my grade double noughts, you don't have to worry about this right now. You just have to worry about the correct formation. For my grade R's, can you see, can you see that every time I go up, I touch the top line of the tummy tail of the tummy line. Every time I go down, it touches the line of the tummy tail. It touches the line of the tummy line. So can you see that every time it touches and it touches? It's not floating in the middle. It's not floating. Things are not floating around here. Every time you start at the top, and can you see that I started at the very top of the line? You go down, up, round, down, up, round, down. Did I lift my finger? No, I didn't. There's a lot of ups and downs, ups and downs. So the tricky part with Munching Mike is that you must try and keep on the same line. You mustn't double lines when you're going up, because otherwise you're going to see 2 lines, one going down and one going up. So you must try stay on the same line. Okay, which is also why teachers give you lots of tracing exercises to do, because it helps you to stay on the same line. Okay, well done. So that's the munching mic. I'm going to go through because there were a few letters that I didn't do head, tummy, tails with you because I was doing those videos also for Teacher Ashley's class, and I didn't want them to worry about head, tummy, tails. But now, because this is just for my big ones, we're going to just look at the A to F letters because I didn't do head, tummy, tails with those. Here's Annie Apple. As you can see, Annie Apple only uses the tummy line of the cat. So how we start, remember, always in the corner, round. Can you see I'm touching lines? Round, touch line, round, touch line, up, touch line, down, touch line. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we don't lift our finger. Very good. You remembered. I'm so proud of you. The next one is Bouncy Ben. Bouncy Ben, who remembers? Because he's facing the different way, we don't start in the corner. Can you see? Are they facing the same way? Is the circle on the same side? No. Annie Apple's facing this side, Bouncy Ben is facing this side. So we don't start in the corner. With Bouncy Ben, we start at the top. Can you see that his line starts at the top of the cat's head, not in the middle where the eyes are? His one starts at the top of the cat's head, and we start at the top, down into the tummy line, touch the tummy line, then up on the same line, go round, touch the line, down, touch the line, and stop. There you go. Well done. This one is super easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yes, it is. Clever cat. Clever cat only uses the tummy line. And it's not a full circle, it's half a circle. It's like a crescent shape. You start over here, round, touch the line, down, touch the line, and stop. Well done. And we didn't lift our finger. That's right. Now, who's that? It's D for dippy duck. D for dippy duck. Now, a lot of you get B and D confused. This is completely normal from up until the age of 5. Can you see they look almost the same? What's the difference? One, the circle is facing that way. The other one, the circle's facing that way. It can be very difficult to know the difference. But up until the age of 5, moms and dads, don't get discouraged if your 4-year-old or even your 5-year-old is getting confused with visualizing and identifying between the B and the D on its own like that. It is completely normal. There is a cute little way that you can try remember the difference between the B and the D. Okay, so if we write the word bed, bed we spell like this. That's how we spell bed. Ba, E in the middle, and D. Okay, can you see that the bed, the word bed, almost looks like a bed? It's got the posts on either side and it's flat in the middle. So it looks like the side view of a bed. Okay? Can you see that the B over here, I'm just going to put that down for a second. The B over here, you can make with your hand. Can you see that? Here's your thumb, is the line, and your fist is the circle. Can you see that? Okay, good. So your one hand can be the B, and your other hand is the D. Okay, do you understand that? There's the line of your thumb, and your fist that you make is the circle. Can you see that? So you can make a bouncy bear and a dippy duck with your hands. Okay? If you ever forget which one is which, you can always think of the word bed and think of what a bed looks like. So you've got your hands like this. This is your B and this is your D. Put them together and you can almost see a bed. B, D, bed. Okay, so if you put your fingers like this, your hands like this, you can make the B and the D, and then you remember bed. Make your hands into the form of a bed. In the beginning, the sound is a B, so you know that this one is B and this one is D. B-ed, bed. Okay, so if you ever get confused, that's an easy way to remember your B and your D. So that's one way of remembering the B and the D. If we look at the deformation using head, tummy, tails, okay, the deformation, your hand like this, you start in the corner, round, touch the line, down, touch the line, up all the way to the cat's head, down all the way to the bottom line. Can you see that I've stayed on the same line? You don't make double lines. Try not to make that. It's a little bit hard, but you can do it. Okay, that's why you need to practice. After D, we've got E. Eddie elephant. Eddie elephant almost looks like Clever Cat, except he's got a line. Now to help you know where to start your line, because you always start with Eddie elephant here, and then you go across, and then you touch the line, and then you go down to that line. I've made a little belly button, like we did with Kicking King. I've made a belly button for Eddie elephant. And then you know that's more or less the middle of the line, and that's where you start your dot. That's where you start your Eddie elephant. You go across, then you go up and round. See? Easy peasy. You can do it. Well done. Then the last one we have to practice is the fireman Fred. Firefighter Fred uses 2 lines, just like most of them do. He uses 2 lines, and he starts at the tummy line. He starts at the top of the head. So you start by the eyes. You see his eyes? You kind of start over there. You make your half circle. Then you touch the top of the headline, all the way straight line down to the bottom of the tummy line. Lift your finger. And now, who remembers which way do we start this line? Do we start on the left side or the right side? We start on the left, unless you are left-handed, in which case you can start from the right. But if you are right-handed, you always start from the left and draw a line on to the right side. And can you see I did my line on this line in between the head and the tummy. So you start there and across. Okay, well done. That's easy peasy. Good. Now you can practice all your letters from A to M using your head, tummy, tails, and you can even try write your name now. Some of you obviously might have some letters that are after Munching Mike. Ask Mom and Dad to help you, because especially my grade R's, you should already know how to write your own name with all the letters that are in your name. So now ask Mom to help you make your head, tummy, tails, and write your name using the head, tummy, tails. Okay, and don't just write it once. Write it a few times. Okay, so now because we've done K, L, and M, now you can play your phonics game and see what your name would sound like if it started with a K, or if it started with a L, or if it started with a M. Okay. Okay, and you can do that with everyone in your family. Then your formation is obviously very, very important. Maybe what you can do with a nice activity that I've done as well here at my house is you use a light. You know your torch? Use your torch. And which one of those three has the L sound? We did 3 letters today. One of them has the L sound. Use your torch, because it shines a light, to write on the walls at night. Switch off all the lights and use your torch to write the L formation. That was really fun. And then you can actually play that game with all your letters. And then it is kind of difficult to know the formation, but it's just a fun game to do anyway, regardless of formation. But you must try to stick to the right formation, obviously. Okay, so you can do that game. Then you're going to write like I did. Remember, I've been telling you to do this since Annie Apple, to write a big letter like this on a piece of paper. Put it that way. Put it on the floor and go find things in your house that start with that letter and put it there. And then my big ones, can you please try write 3 to 5 words starting with the K sound, and please make sure that it's a kicking king and not a clever cat. So before you think of a word, ask mom and dad or any adult around you that if that word that you're thinking of starts with a clever cat or if it starts with a kicking king. And then they will let you know. And then only write down the words that start with the kicking king, the K sound, and not the clever cat K. Okay, same thing with L. Try to find as many phonetically correct words as you can with the L sound and with the M sound. Okay, and then that's it. And then from next week, your teachers will be carrying on with the curriculum, because next week we start term 2. Okay, and then tomorrow my video will be about numbers and remembering all the numbers that you've done. Have fun with your letters, and I will see you tomorrow.